Church, I want to call your attention to the book of Ephesians. Ephesians, the third chapter. Ephesians 3. We are reading and continue to invoke your prayers. Number 2, of fighting this flu bug.
All right.
God is good.
All the time.
Ephesians 3rd chapter, and we're going to begin reading verse 14. For this reason, we have to say amen.
Amen.
For this reason, I kneel before the Father, from whom every family in heaven and on earth derives its name. I pray that out of his glorious riches, he may strengthen you with power through his Spirit in your inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith. And I pray that you, being rooted and established in love, may have power, together with all the Lord's holy people, to grasp how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ, and to know this love surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled to the measure of all the fullness of God. Amen.
Amen.
So that you may grasp how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ.
Amen.
Amen. All right, hold up your Bibles. This is God's word.
This is God's word.
I receive it.
I receive it.
I believe it.
I believe it.
I decree it.
I decree it.
God's word.
God's word.
Is a lamp unto my feet.
And a lamp unto my feet.
And a light unto my path.
And a light unto my path.
This is a church.
This is a church.
Where everybody is somebody.
Everybody is somebody.
Jesus is Lord.
Jesus is the Lord.
One Lord.
One Lord.
One faith.
One faith.
One baptism.
One baptism.
One Zion.
One Zion.
In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
You may be seated in God's presence. Take your issues. For just a few minutes, I'd like to pose this question sermonically and attempt to answer it at least in some theological manner. Amen.
Amen.
Are you, or are we, measuring up? Are we measuring up?
Amen.
All right.
To grasp, writes Paul, how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ. Are we measuring up? For quite some time now, I've been challenging you to ask questions, or to begin to ask questions about our faith walk with Christ. At the time that the previous pastor separated from this body, to the time that I received a message from my pastor, Pastor Michael Evans of Bethlehem Baptist Church, Mansfield, Texas, telling me to go to this church in Oak Cliff.
All right.
Here I was in Fort Worth. Pastor, you sure you don't doubt you? And from that time, I've been challenging you to ask, who are we? Who are we becoming? And what's possible? That's been, about a year and some months now. Amen?
Yes.
And what I've been trying to urge, Zion, is to see ourselves as God sees us. And there's always a difference between how we see ourselves and how God sees us. Did you know that?
Yes, sir.
There's even a difference between how you see yourself and how others see you as well. But what really holds water, what really matters at the end of the day is how God sees you.
Yes, sir.
And even when you are in your deepest struggle, even when you are facing the most colossal of circumstances, did you know that God still loves you? God still sees you as his beloved son or daughter. Thank God that circumstances don't change the way God feels about you. I think I just said something.
Yes, sir. Yes,
But
sir.
you do know that some people, when they see your circumstances, they tend not to want anything to do with it. Amen? You know somebody like that, don't you?
Yes,
Somebody knows somebody like that. That there are those who will come around when the bank account is full, bills are being paid, and you're treating them for dinner and lunch and all of that. But when the money dries up, times get tough. All of a sudden, you don't see those people anymore.
that's right.
But God is the same. Jesus Christ, the same. Yesterday, today, and forevermore.
Yes. Thank you, Lord.
So the question that I want to challenge you with today, are we measuring up? Not are we measuring up to man's standards. Not are we measuring up to any other standard but the standard of God. We know something about being measured. Ladies get measured for gowns when it's time to get married. Amen?
Right.
Men get measured for tuxedos,
Yeah.
for special occasions. We know something about measuring. When I meet with clients, I measure their body fat and BMI. Y'all can say, man, that's just what I do. That's what I do. That's my living there. Measure body fat and BMI and look at some things that they do in their lifestyles that could probably be taken out and replaced with more healthy lifestyles. Amen?
Amen.
Healthy lifestyle. Moving around for 10 minutes a day. Amen?
That's right.
Engaging in some kind of physical activity to keep your heart rate elevated. Amen. Getting fit for Jesus. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
Nothing wrong with that at all. But God's ultimate measuring stick is not what man's measuring stick is.
Amen.
Whether it's for the body, the mind, or the spirit, God's ultimate measuring stick can be summed up in one word, and that's love.
Amen.
So does your love measure up to God's love?
Amen.
Right.
Amen.
Are we loving the way that God has biblically prescribed us to love? You see, when I talk about love, I'm not talking about the Eros type of love. I'm not talking about the love that is here today and gone tomorrow love. Actually here today and gone today kind of love. Not the kind of love that you can't depend on when times get tough. Not the kind of love that even at the slightest hint of consternation, he gone. Or she gone. Not that kind of love. Not the kind of love that is easily permeated, but does not have the deepness and the quality to last through a storm. God's love is a love that leads to power. As you see, Paul writes in this verse, 3rd chapter of Ephesians, that the only thing that is going to make us powerful is love. The only way that we can realize the power that we have is through God's love.
That's right, that's right.
If we don't connect to God's love, if we don't measure ourselves according to God's standard of love, we ain't got no power.
That's right.
And if we don't have any power, then we don't have anything.
That's right.
And so the tendency is to measure our love according to earthly standards. The tendency is to think that the latest song that comes on the radio is what we ought to be loving by or governing ourselves according to.
That's right, that's right.
But do you not know that God's love is not man's love?
All right.
God is not a man that he should lie.
That's right.
His love goes deeper than that. Yeah. In church, I tell you, before we're getting ready to convene the leadership conference in a couple of weeks here, we're getting ready to bring all the leaders together so that we can trade ideas and so that we can better ascertain what God's will is for this church. Amen?
Amen.
It will be a tough time. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because we've got to ask some tough questions.
Amen. All right.
We've got to ask some tough questions. We've got to ask some tough questions and not be afraid of the answers.
All right.
Because in the end, it's not what you know or who you know. It's how you walk
That's right. That's right.
that matters the most.
That's right.
I think I just preached a sermon here.
Yeah.
It's not what you know. It's not who you know. But it's how you walk the walk
That's right.
that really matters.
Right.
You can talk the talk,
Yes.
but if you don't walk the walk,
Yes.
the Bible says you are nothing but sounding brass
That's right. That's right.
and tinkling cymbals.
Yes, sir.
It's not what you know. It's not who you know. It's how you walk. How you're walking. How is your walk with the Lord?
Amen.
As I close,
All right.
true godly love leads to power. The power that was invested in us through the birth, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. His power is the reason we are here today. Without his resurrection, we would have no power. If he had stayed in the grave, we would remain powerless.
That's right. Come on, Pastor.
But he didn't stay in the grave.
Yeah.
The Bible says he got up
Yes, he did.
with all power in his hand.
Yes, he did.
And that power is what we call our breakthrough power. That power is the power that allows us to get up even when we don't feel like getting up.
You're right. You're right.
That power, that breakthrough power, is the power that allows us to move on in the face of uncertainty.
Yes, sir.
That power is the power that allows us to hold our head up
Yes, sir.
even when the sun don't seem to be shining. It's that power,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
that breakthrough power. Well, preacher, where do you get this power from? I'm glad you asked. That power can only come through Jesus Christ.
All right.
It can only come through God. And God's got a measuring stick. God's walking around Zion right now with a measuring stick. And you know what, God? You know why? Because God wants to know who's in and who's out.
Amen.
God wants to know who's playing church and who's serious. God wants to know who's ready to go beyond these walls.
Yeah.
Go beyond this community
Yeah.
and make known the power of Jesus Christ.
Yes, sir.
God's got a measuring stick.
Yes, sir.
He's got a measuring stick.
That's all
And
right.
that stick doesn't say Croomes. That stick doesn't say trailer. That stick doesn't say culture. That stick is God's
Yes.
measuring stick.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And it's measured by four things.
That's right.
Number one is measured by the width of your service.
Yeah.
How wide is your service? And then it's measured by the length of your belief.
Yes, sir.
How long is your belief? Can your belief scale the wall of circumstances?
Right.
And then it's measured by the height of your trust. Can you trust God
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
even when you can't trace him? And then lastly, how deep is your love? That's what God wants to know today. How deep is your love? Because God's love
Yes, sir.
is so wide, you can't go around it. His love is so low, you can't go under it. His love is so high, you can't go over it. You can only come in at the door. As Jesus said, behold, I stand at the door and I knock. If you open up, I'll come in and I'll have dinner with you. And I'll save your soul. I'll replace your morning with morning. I'll replace your darkness with light. But you got to open the door to God's love.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How deep is your love? How deep is your love? Are you measuring up today?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you say that my love measures up according to God's standard? God's love,
God's love.
so high,
Yes, sir.
so low,
Yeah.
so wide.
Yeah.
You can't go, you got to just come in through the door. Ain't no getting around God's love. You can run, but you can't hide. You can put on get-ups, But you can't fool God. You can act like everything is going all right. But God knows.
God knows.
God knows.
Yes, he does.
Amen.
All right, God bless you. That's what my body's going to give today.
Amen.
God bless you.
Yes, sir.
How deep
Yes, Lord.
is your love?
Yes, sir.
Are you measuring up?
Yes.
Are we measuring up
Yes.
as a community of faith to God's love? Are we doing what God is telling us to do? Are we walking like God is telling us to walk? Are we talking like God is telling us to talk? But don't let the talk outdo the walk.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Don't let the talk outdo the walk. We got to walk bigger than we talk.
You're right.
I say it again. We got to walk bigger than we talk.
Yes, sir.
Because talk ain't nothing.
Cheap.
Action.
Talk is cheap.
Amen.
Talk don't do anything.
Amen.
Talk don't pay any bill. Well, let me see what it's supposed to be up to them. But talk is cheap. You got to get up and do something.
That's right. That's right.
You can't just talk about it.
You're right.
You got to be about it. Listen, we're in the business of saving souls. Why are we saving souls? We can't just talk about it.
Right.
We got to be about it.
Yes, sir.
That's our mission. That's our declaration.
Yes, sir. All right.
Doors of the church are open.
Yes.
I invite you to come. And measure your own self. It is not ours to measure your Christian walk. It is ours to come together in love
Yes.
and to measure ourselves. Let a man examine himself,
Yes.
That's right.
says the Bible. You are here today. You are out with the heart of Satan. We invite you to come and trust Jesus as your Savior. My letter, Christian experience. What can you do for that? still room at the cross. Are we measuring up to God's love? Not what you know or who you know, it's how you walk. Amen.
All right.
Have our deacons come with our offertory